YouTube, how we doing? Hope everyone's good. We are back again with another YouTube solo Q&A. I need to stop saying solo because no one's joining me on these. I would like to say eventually, maybe I'll get like an occasional co-host. But I like these. I like doing them myself. Like I enjoy when I finish these. I'm like, hell yeah! I just feel good. It's nice. I don't know why. Just speaking to myself, looking at myself, speaking to myself. It's what I do all day on check-ins. But it's a bit different when it's like a long form of content. So what have I got to report to you guys? So I competed, weekend just gone. I probably should do a show wrap up, but I've got a YouTube video coming. We had Sam there for the day, which will be cool. So I imagine that probably will be out months from now. I don't fucking know. But no, that was a really good show day. Won some dollar bills. I actually haven't even opened this envelope. But yeah, if you guys want to see, I'm stacked, guys. Won some cash. Got a Better Bodies gift card, got a sick trophy, literally for turning up and paying £35 for show day entry. And obviously I paid for my tan, but I do my own tan really. So I just got a top coat. Turn up, win the overall. So that's 2 shows, 2 overall, same start as last season. And then the pro qualifier that I attempted last year for PCA got second. So if it's the same, I'm going to get second this year. So we'll see. But the pro qualifiers in a week and a half. We are back to, I say digging, just coming back down in body weight, which is cool. I had a few days of filling up, got up to 122.5, which is like 268, 269, and basically everything kind of is here bar one compound. I'll give you guys a clue. Increlex. I've got 2 vials coming, so I'm gonna maybe put that in for the last week just because why not. And then yeah, we'll see. I'm not too sure if Korea's gonna be the only shot at the card. I'd like to say I'll do Italy as well if I don't get it, but I'm gonna be honest. I think I will get it in Korea, but I'm also like kind of just thinking to myself, we'll see how things go. Like the body's responding really well. I don't really ever think too far ahead. So like I've had a few people go, oh, what are you gonna do if you don't get it? And it's like, I want to say, I guess we'll never know afterwards if I do get the card. But I'm not that bothered. I don't know why. I feel very like switched off in a way of like, if I get it, sick. If I don't, cool. I'm just going to literally go based off vibes, go based off how my body's responding, go based off how things are. But the final tweaks and changes are in. We have another day of baseline tomorrow, another day of baseline Saturday with me going to watch The Weekend in London with my mum, which will be sick. We're gonna go shopping, have a nice day together, probably clock up a load of fucking steps. Ideally be at a pretty much a new low Sunday, which will definitely be the case. That's also my engagement party. So that'll be a case of probably filling up Sunday, Monday, traveling. I'm flying on Tuesday, a whole 12-hour flight. So the plan's basically fill up Monday or Sunday, Monday, train legs in the morning. So that'll be my last leg session of prep, potentially Sunday morning anniversary party, engagement party, sorry. Monday, upper on the way back. Then I'll, like I said, be filling up pretty aggressively, aiming to be like going away Tuesday, like bursting full, dry off over the flight. It's a 12-hour flight. There'll be a whole day's worth of travel. I won't land till Wednesday morning, and then basically see and assess where I'm at Wednesday / like Wednesday afternoon, and then basically start a linear load, like a nice linear load where, because I haven't really moved because of the flight, hopefully I'll be nice and tight and dry but still full, and then I can literally just do an upper pump Thursday, Friday, or like push pull, and then I think the show's on the Saturday. It's either Saturday or Sunday. I think it's Saturday. So that's basically the plan. It hopefully will work. I think it'll be quite an easy peak this week with the implementation of like orals and other little funny things here and there. I've just got harder and drier and like bigger. So I'm like, I was sitting today at 120, and I've not looked like this at 120 before. For reference, like my prep low is like 116.5 to 117. So I want to kind of get back down to that. So it's Thursday today. So by Sunday, I'll be at that low, like with how my weight drops after rest days. Like I dropped 2.5 kilos yesterday or into today, drop probably another 1.5 kilos to 2 kilos, drop half a kilo, then probably another 1.5 kilos, new low, fill up, then go away. So simple sort of stuff, and predictable sort of response. So yeah, that is that. Now we have a fair few questions to get through. I did a question box yesterday. So basically, guys, let's just get into it, because who the fuck cares about me? Who cares about what I'm doing? You guys just care about the free knowledge on these IRL consults. So yeah, and also appreciate the support regarding the school idea. I also got a few messages about like mentorship, and I think it would be really cool. I just don't really have the time personally. I'd have to make the time. But I think it would be really good. I do really like the education side of things, and a group mentorship I think would be doable. Individual solo mentorship would be a challenge, and I would have to charge extortionate amounts for what it would be worth for me. So yeah, I think we'll start off with school, continue doing these YouTube videos, and just go from there, because I really enjoy this sort of stuff, and then potentially look upon that in the future. So, I got a message, I got one that says champ from Matt Kovic, IFBB Pro, who is a Olympian, disability Olympian wheelchair bodybuilder. So, mate, I'm not the champ, you're the champ. Doing bodybuilding while being in a wheelchair is fucking awesome. So, fair fucking play. You motivate the absolute fuck out of me. Shit like that, I love. Like, seeing stuff like that, because I'm like, imagine, like, trying to get shredded and being like, yeah, I can't even do steps. Like, imagine your only form of cardio being one of those things, those bike, this, I looks like I'm doing a fucking punching bag. I mean, it could be, you know, those bike handle, upper body bike machines. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. And that guy's doing that to get shredded. So yeah, okay. Premier League top 6 predictions, everyone's clicked off. I haven't paid enough attention to Premier League football this summer. The fact that Arnie Slotter's in at Liverpool is making me happy. I'd say Arsenal will go back to back just based off the fact of that they have got the best squad. There's a lot of transition at other clubs. I think Chelsea will be alright personally. I think they've had a good window. Spurs have had a good window, but I don't think they're going to be in the top 6. Yeah, I actually don't know. Love your honesty, GH and Slin protocol. Now this is from Guy Harding. So for a fun fact, Guy Harding is one of the last guys to beat me on stage. So Guy turned up at the Fitex Northeast some shit show in 2023. It was my first ever show showing my legs on stage, and I would have won the classic class, I would have won the open bodybuilding class, and I would have won the overall in my first ever showing my legs show in 2023. And Guy Harding decides to turn up, and he was fucking massive. I remember being backstage and being like, why the hell is this guy here? Like, probably similar, to be fair, similar to me turning up at the A1 the other day. Like, why is this dude here? Like, this is not fun. But Guy has a great physique. I think he's probably at the level now where he doesn't really need to push. Like, I don't really think he off seasons. He kind of looks similar year on year. He's a world title bodybuilder. Fantastic bodybuilder. He's done it for years, and he's a stalwart of the game. So, yeah, massive respect to Guy Harding. GH and Slin protocol. So, GH, to put it simply, take as much as you can afford without side effects occurring from a water retentive standpoint or insulin resistant standpoint. Obviously, we can take insulin sensitive peptides, we can keep our diet super clean, we can do our cardio, all that sort of stuff. And then from a Slin standpoint, I think it really depends. I like a basal insulin, so something working within the background. So whether that's Lantus or Shishiba, personally, I would probably say looking at the kind of mechanisms of action, I would prefer Shishiba, but obviously it's hard to source, especially within the UK. So Lantus, maybe splitting it up, doing a good amount in the morning and then a little bit later on. So for most of my guys, I'll have them split up. And I've done this for a good amount of time, which is funny because I feel like not many people do. A lot of people just do one shot of Lantus in the morning and be like, that's all, that's it, that's covering me for 24 hours. And it's like, it's really not. So do your Lantus, split it up. Do, let's say, for example, maybe pre-meal 1. Let's say you're doing 30 to 40 IUs total. Let's just say we're doing 30 IUs. Do 20 IUs pre-meal 1, and then do 10 IUs maybe with 2 meals left of the day. So before your fourth or fifth meal, depending on how many meals a day you eat. Okay, that's personally what I would prefer when it comes to kind of Lantus administration and stuff like that. And then fast-acting insulin is going to be a little bit more kind of situated towards performance enhancing around the workout window, where you have the biggest amount of carbohydrates. Obviously, you want to situate it pre and post workout. I think in rebounds, this makes a hell of a lot of sense with opening the door for nutrients to go intramuscular, especially mixing that in with fast and easy digestible carbs. So yeah, I think it really depends. The whole classic American style of like you do 10 grams of carbs per 1 IU, I think is bollocks. You don't need to be doing, like, especially with like a pre and post workout meal. Like my post workout meal at times will get up to 250, maybe 300. I've even done more than that carbs. I'm not doing fucking 20 IUs, 30 IUs of fast acting fucking Nova Rapid. That is stupid. So as a result, I probably think maximum you would ever need is probably 8 to maybe 12 IUs. But I think honestly 8 IUs in a post-workout setting is absolutely fine. We also have to consider are you using it pre and intra? Like, if you're doing just post-workout, maybe 10 IUs, if you're doing 200 carb, could be doable. If you're doing pre, intra, and post, and you're doing like 6, 8, 10, or whatever at each, that is stupid. It's still going to be in your system. As much as it's fast-acting, there's still going to be a lingering period where it's still going to be improving nutrient uptake and bringing down blood glucose levels. You mix that in with a load of insulin-sensitive peptides, you could run into some issues. So just be careful. Like, the people that fuck themselves up from insulin are idiots, if I'm being honest. You're not doing things properly. So a little goes a long way with fast-acting insulin. Take your higher doses of Lantus, Toshiba. That's where I like pushing up the numbers pretty high. Like, I ran very, very, very high Lantus this off-season, just gone. Very high. Like, very high. Like, I had access to basically unlimited Lantus pens, and I went through them all. Okay, so I went through a lot of Lantus on training days with a lot of carbohydrates, but I kept my fast-acting insulin quite minimal and moderate, but more so just situated around the workout window where it's going to be most sort of anabolic. Okay, so yeah, thoughts. I know best subs for recovery. Asked by a natty, and the guy who's asking is really good, like a really good natural bodybuilder. Honestly, best subs, I probably wouldn't say best subs, say if I can get to bed, bro, get to bed. I mean, a good quality joint support sub to reduce inflammation. I think, let's say, you could look at just general supplementation, but I honestly think recovery is more so down to the things we do in the evening, the times that we do things. If you're doing loads of cardio or training super late, or you've got a super stressful, demanding job, or you're playing Resident Evil before you go to bed, like I was at times, probably not going to be too good for your recovery, guys. So just make sure in the evening you're getting everything done, you're switching off, you're relaxing, you're putting your mind at ease, all that sort of shit. That's the stuff that I'd be thinking of when it comes to kind of best subs, but best things you can do for recovery. Thoughts on SLU in off-season? Yeah, fantastic. SLU is really, really good. I think I noticed a lot less like off-season sort of lethargy that I would usually have in the off-season. So peak off-season for me, I've always noticed I feel pretty heavy, feel pretty tired, taxed, a little bit lethargic and stuff like that. I noticed I still had, to be fair, those symptoms, but it definitely was lesser. It wasn't as noticeable. It was a lot more, it was just a lot easier to kind of be at heavier body weights. And as well, like my recovery in between sets, like I pride myself on being a pretty fit guy, like all year round. I mean, guys, my name's Reese Fit for a fucking reason, but I pride myself on being quite fit. Like, for someone who's 310 pounds in the off season, I can do a 20 or 30 rep leg press set and have a conversation within a minute or two after. I can do a single arm pull down and do 20 reps and then do my other side immediately. Like, I back myself and pride myself on being pretty fit in between sets. Like, I think it's a sign of, like, it's a bit of a skill. I don't think it's impressive seeing a big open bodybuilder who does one set and then is fucking leaning over and just out of breath for 20 minutes or whatever. That's not good. And also that's going to reduce training output massively. So as a result, SLU I think definitely helps in that regard. Also, obviously the insulin sensitivity benefits. I don't think you need a lot. I had, like, honestly, 0.5 milligram to a couple milligrams in daily. Obviously in prep, I think that's when I pushed the dosage up pretty high. Like, I've done 100, 200 milligrams SLU this entire prep. And I probably will do in the rebound, if I'm being honest. Maybe I'll drop it a touch, but I probably will keep the high SLU in the rebound, and then we'll start to bring it down. And it'll probably be the MOTC that I bring down, and it'll be more so probably SS31 and NED that I increase in the rebound to kind of clean things up internally. So yeah, thoughts on test DHT at a 1 to 100 in a diet? Curious on thoughts. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay, fair enough. That's like, you know, will you go out with me? And then if you say no, it's not actually me. It's my friend who asked. And if it is, maybe. So testing DHT at a 1 to 100 in a diet, I mean, it's doable. I personally say, like, especially as a white dude, run higher test. Like, why not? Like, yeah, okay, we could argue hardening guys, do lower test, take your Masteron, take your Primo. Most of the time, I did a reel about this, most of the time you're going to flatten out, you're going to look stringy, you're going to look like shit. I would much rather run higher test, leverage that test as high as you physically can, and then have some form of DHT or EQ to control estrogen, or even an AI if need be, to put numbers within range. Test is best in regards to fullness, E2 conversion, DHT conversion, maximal IGF production. You run low test, you have a low E2, you run high mast and primo, congrats, you're going to feel like shit, look like shit, train like shit, IGF's in the bin, not getting the most out of your growth hormone. Yeah, personally, I would say, like, honestly, you could do it at 1 to 1. I've done it at 1 to 1s before, and I think it's okay, but I would personally say I'd prefer my test being slightly higher in diets, but that's based off me being an open bodybuilder when I was smaller, men's physique guys, I will have some men's physique guys who have lower tests in their DHTs, or they have compounds that control their estrogen to a greater extent than their testosterone's currently at. So yeah. Thoughts on logbooking. So I think logbooking is an essential part of, let's say, coaching / bodybuilding, or coaching in regards to making sure someone's actually adhering to a plan, sticking to a plan and progressing, but also like the mental side of actually looking at numbers objectively and going, this is what I need to be. That being said, I think if you're getting out a logbook, or you're writing down your phone, you're getting distracted in between every set, or you're doing like a lateral raise and all you're thinking of on the lateral raise is like, I need to beat this number from last week, and your form's going to shit, that's stupid. I think on main heavy compound movements, so let's look at this. Let's look at push session, Smith machine press, shoulder press, dip. Pull session, bent row, T-bar row, deadlift, stuff like that. On a leg session, leg press and squat variants. Those are the movements you should logbook, you should want to progressively get stronger with. When it comes to your isolations, I don't think you need to logbook, but also if I was starting out, again, would I logbook? Yes, I logbooked everything. If I go on my notes right now, on my phone, and I type in, I wonder what would get me to like 2018 log. Let's see, 2019 log. Oh, come on, surely I've got logs. Log? 2024 log. Okay, clearly I haven't got my... Yeah, this hasn't saved since... Oh no, fair enough, it has. 2017. Yeah, so this is my 24th... Oh no, that's just a post. Maybe I didn't have it as a log. Yeah. I would write down like my sessions, and I would put down literally everything. But I would do that from like 2016, 17, 18. Maybe it hasn't saved. I don't know why. But yeah, I would put down my sessions, and I would have like my entire everything I did, numbers, feel, feedback, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's a little bit extreme at times. But I also think I made a lot of progress doing that. Do I do it now? No. But I also am a little bit more in tune with my body. So that's what I'd say there. Where do you go shopping? Where do you shop for your clothes to go out for dinners, etc.? So luckily, when I'm pretty skinny, I can kind of wear a lot more of my nicer clothes. The oversized, like, essential stuff, the Fear of God stuff, Cole Buxton stuff, like this is a HVYD, the Dorian Houghton's clothing, this is like the biggest size, and this in the off season is quite like fitted, like even now it's like, to be fair, it's kind of hanging off me. I fucking look like I got AIDS at this point, I feel like, in the diet. But yeah, if I was to go through my wardrobe, I've got a lot of clothes that unfortunately I can't wear. But Fear of God, the Eternal stuff that came out last year is really nicely oversized. The boxy tees from them are pretty much sound. Like I said, I don't really, unfortunately, wear a lot of clothes that are like quite nice. I have a lot of clothes that are nice, but I can't really wear them. Like in this wardrobe here, I have like loads of like very nice jumpers and hoodies that I've spent a lot of money on that I can't really wear, and I'm like thinking to myself, maybe one day I'll give this bodybuilding game up, and I'll give this up, and then I can wear all my expensive clothes and stuff like that. So we'll see. But I don't know, not anytime soon. God damn it, gonna be winning fucking shows. Favorite hip press, Jim Lecco. Obviously, I have it at the gym. I think the Rogers hip press is okay, but I think it's massively overrated. The hammer strength is sound. The Atlanta single leg. Oh my god, that is such a good piece. Would that be everything? I think that's all the hip presses, really. Are there any other hip presses, guys, that I've forgot there? I feel like I've said basically every hip press. Hip presses are sound. Yeah, plate loaded hip presses. I don't really think there's any issues there, really. I personally would have the Jim Lecco number one. The resistance profile, the fact that when it's banded, it's great. I then would probably have the Rogers. No, I wouldn't. I'd have the Atlantis. If the Atlantis had a dual leg approach where you could like put a bar across it, that would be number one. And I probably would choose the Atlantis, to be fair. Like the Atlantis maybe is number one. Atlantis and Jim Lecco are number one or two. They're like, they could be interchangeable. Right, if someone uses injectable L-carnitine, can he still compete in naturals? I do believe so. Well, L-carnitine is... I didn't even say L-carnitine. Injectable L-carnitine is natural, technically. It's a natural supplement you just inject. Like, what we've got to remember is the administration of something doesn't equate to, like, the actual, like, poison of it. So, like, a B12 injection comes through the same mechanism, technically, as fucking heroin. Now, that's quite extreme when it comes to the differences there. But I'm not going to say that, like, if you were to say I inject myself, there's a big difference between B12 and heroin. You know know what I mean? So it's the same as like I take, let's say for example, GHKCU. I also take loads of Tren. I mean, technically I do both, okay guys, so I'm sorry, I do take both of those, and I do inject both of those compounds. So I'm in this situation, so it'd be like, you know, what are you injecting there, Reese? And it's like, oh, don't worry, it's GHKCU, just try and look good and my hair be good. And then also I'm like, no, actually it's not that, it's fucking Tren, sorry guys, it's fucking 500 milligram of Tren. I'm not injecting 500 milligram of Tren. But yeah, can somebody still compete? I think so, do believe so, I'm pretty sure they can. I think maybe you could, if you had changed it slightly where you can't. I personally think if I was injecting myself as a natural, I would just say I'm going to inject myself with stuff that is actually going to legitimately change my physique, because I've already gone through the process of like pinning myself. That's what actually stopped me from jumping on gear, because I was like, I don't want to be injecting myself every day. And then when I got to the point where I was like, okay, maybe I do, it's worth it within my goals. If I was injecting myself for a bit more fullness or a little bit more fat lipolysis, oh, do I really see that as worth it? I don't know. If people are watching this point, if you were on gear, would you do it? And likewise, if you're natural, would you? What's people's opinions? I think this is crazy. Like, just take fucking gear if you're gonna inject yourself. I don't see as a natural why you would. I just don't see the benefit in regards to 1% gains, 1% progress. But then it's like, I don't know. You're surely doing the things that just, if you're that into your progress, you surely would go, okay, I'm just going to take PDs. I just don't know. Maybe that's me coming from a complete and utter meathead standpoint, and I probably will upset a few natties here. They go, natural bodybuilding, great, and I really like natural bodybuilding, but it's Formula 2, guys. You know, you're practicing. It's like doing 20 years of studying for an exam that you're probably not going to pass. And if you do pass it, cool. There's going to be people that are going to pass it faster than you, and they're going to do it better than you, and they're going to get more attention than you. And unfortunately, we're not all going to be AJ Morris and stuff like that, who are going to make careers out of it. So yeah, just take gear, guys. Come on, please. Don't take it. Stay natural. Live forever. Where do you pin sub-Q for your peptides such as Retta, etc.? I don't really pin sub-Q at this point. I pin mostly intramuscular. Only times I'll ever go sub-Q is like I'll do like my lower back, so I'll pinch like my hip and go there. My stomach doesn't really have body fat at this point, so it would just lump and bump. And I also think as well, like, it looks very shit having a lump and bump on your ab. I've done like some peptide shots there, and they just sat there for like weeks. And like, I look at my photos, I'm like, oh, that looks awful. So yeah, I do like outer hip, lower back, love handle area. But even now, like, there's not really much body fat there, so I just do intramuscular. So yeah, I'm a first time user using a GH, using it pre-bed. Should I take my insulin pre-bed as well? Absolutely fucking not, mate. Do not do that. That is one way how to wake up or not even wake up. You won't wake up, bro. Your girlfriend will wake you up when you're on the way to A&E and you've got lights around you and they're taking you in. They're like, his blood sugar levels are low, get him something or whatever. And they then put loads of, like, I don't know, orange juice in your mouth and stuff like that. Like, yeah, do not take your insulin pre-bed. No. Take your GH pre-bed, take your insulin around the workout window. If it's fast acting, if it's not slow acting, take it in the morning. I mean, to be fair, it is actually a dosing protocol that, like, the NHS advise of doing Atlantis pre-bed, which I think, in theory, if you've got diabetes, makes sense to wake up with your blood glucose levels low, but then it's just going to go higher, and it's not 24 hours anyway, and the NHS at this point are a bit stupid when it comes to all things insulin related, in my opinion. So, yeah. Right, next one. What's your opinions on SLU? Love it if it's highly dosed. High dose GH 8 IUs not causing water retention / numb hands. Although it's been tested to say legit, I just get 0 sides from it. Cool, man. Take fucking more, brother. Why not? Come on, let's bump that up. 8 IUs. 8 IUs is minuscule amounts. I could take 8 IUs and not even notice any negatives. I took 18 IUs. I took 25 IUs, and yeah, you'll feel that. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, bro. Got gyno surgery, can't train for 4 weeks. Advice: enjoy, get some video games, retard max, sit around, chill out. I would probably, if I'm being honest, if I was to have a gyno surgery, which I have had, I would train a lot before, so I was absolutely battered. I'd probably book a holiday in between, which I actually did, and I would make sure to spam a load of healing peptides, GH, GHKCU, BPC, TB, GLOW, and CLO, KPV as well for inflammation purposes. I would do a cruise period during this phase because you're not going to be training, and I would make sure that after probably 10 to 14 days, I'm back onto a routine of cardio and steps. My diet would be super clean, and then I would probably do some light pump sessions after that point, and then after 3 to 4 weeks, I would be back into regular training. Like, I find it funny, like, randomly after 4 weeks, you're able to train again. No, you're able to train before. Gyno surgery is not that bad. You literally are, after like a week, after the pain meds wear off, which is like a day, like that night it's painful. But after 3 or 4 days, you feel fine. I went on holiday after a week. I trained legs. It's like 20 days after the surgery, and I was okay. And I trained my first upper body, but non-nipple invasive upper body. So it was like shoulders, back, and arms after 22 days. And then I think I did my first like actual proper push session 4 weeks ish. That was like 27, 28 days, and I was fine. So yeah, just don't be an idiot. Don't do things too early, but also don't have to wait till 4 weeks. Just get back onto cardio, get back onto steps, get into a good flow of things after a period of time, and you go from there. How long do each of your sessions last? Depends entirely on the session. Right now, I'd probably say an hour and 20, an hour and 15 to an hour and 45 of actual lifting. But if we include steps beforehand, ab work, let's say posing, we're probably talking 2 and a bit hours. In the off season, probably 2.5-ish hours, I'd say on average. Some leg sessions 3 hours, but that's because I'm probably a little bit less fit, and I'm also probably doing a bit more when it comes to where things are. My volume at this point isn't super low, but isn't super high. How much would you say you spend a month on PEDs? Now, a fucking lot. Depends really, guys, because like I get my stuff obviously slightly cheaper based off sources, based off like obviously all my peptides and stuff I get for free. Like I pay for GH, but I pay a fair bit less than most people. And then like Increlex and stuff like that, I pay for that. And then PEDs, I pay the going rate because I don't want to be getting a PED sponsor and pushing clients to something that I wouldn't trust / see results in. So like I just get my stuff from like the #1 reputable seller in the UK. I don't really, and I'm going to be honest, I don't really run gear that high. Like I really don't. Like this prep cycle is just over 2 grams. So if we're including all the other stuff on top, the GH, the peptides that if I was paying for, the lipolytics, okay, we're talking a good amount. But like, let's say if I'm being honest, if I'm running in the off season, let's say my off season cycle, which it was 1200 test, 600 EQ, and like 200 to 400 mast. That's not that expensive, like if you think about it. Like that's not setting you back that much. When we're then talking, let's say 10, 15, 20 hours of GH, we're then talking, let's say a milligram of Increlex a day, stuff like that, with let's say a load of peptides. Okay, it starts to add up. But at the end of the day, guys, this is like my livelihood. Like I do this because, and I have not unlimited, but I essentially kind of do. I have a very much an open check when it comes to what I can spend on this. I am equivalent of the kid on FIFA who has his mum's credit card, but instead of it being my mum's credit card, it's my credit card. So I can spend a good amount when it comes to this. How often should you get sports massage to keep on top of things? As often as possible. Tissue work is imperative. In prep, I get it done. Like I got tissue work yesterday. I'm getting tissue work tomorrow. I'm getting tissue work on Monday. So tomorrow is just going to be a flush. Monday's just going to be a flush just to keep me nice and loose. But tissue work is imperative, especially as a bigger bodybuilder. In the off season, 1 time a week, so 1 time every 2 weeks. I'd say 1 time every 10 days is probably a sweet spot that I quite like. Even if you don't have any major niggles, just staying on top of tissue work, I do believe is an essential part of being an assisted athlete or an athlete in general. If you're a bit smaller, not as strong, you probably don't need it as much. But like I'm lucky, obviously through the gym, I get it for free. And then even before, like, I was paying £100 to £150 a month on tissue work for probably a good 2 or 3 years before I was getting it or I was in a position to get it for free. So yeah. Next one. Let's have a look. What CPAP machine do you recommend? I have a ResMed 10, AirSense ResMed 10. That's the only one I've ever used. I can't see myself ever getting another one unless it breaks. Fingers crossed it doesn't. I absolutely love it. It's so good. I have a full face mask that I actually have another face mask getting delivered today because my strap broke on it. So I had to like tie or Sanai's had to tie a hair band onto it so I can still have it around my face. Yeah, ResMed 10, goated, so good. I honestly, I don't know, maybe there's better ones out there, but that's the one I got. I got it off Gumtree from a guy who probably stole it out of the hospital, or had a friend who was fat who died. I don't know, but yeah, I think it was new. I hope it was new. I got a new face mask and it's got a humidifier, setup's great, take it everywhere with me. Yeah, I can't see myself not using it. Right, fucking hell guys, I'm going through these, Jesus Christ, so slow. I need to go through these quicker. Right, let's have a look. I'll be a bit more picky with where things are. Let's go. SLU plus 5 amino, 24 days out, need to dig abs more. What doses would you suggest for an advanced gym rat? So, obviously hypothetical, because I'm imagining you're administering this to your rat, to your testing rat, not yourself, because that would be unethical and would also not be good advice. SLU, honestly, as high dose as you can afford, 100, 200 milligrams a day minimum. Is if you can afford and you have access to that. If not, 5 to 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams will be more than enough, but more will do more. And then 5 amino, honestly, if you're 24 days out, rip it 5 milligrams a day. I think 2 to 3 milligrams is more than enough for most people, but 5 milligrams a day, why the fuck not? Have some fun. L-carnitine pre-workout or in the AM, what's more beneficial? Why not both? People will say L-carnitine only works within the state of actually having insulin present, which, if we're looking upon studies, makes sense. But also, like, we're going to have a natural insulin response anyway as we go through day-to-day life and stuff like that. As you think you inject and then you have some food later on, or you have a black coffee that has 2 calories that gets the slightest spike of insulin. You tell me that's not going to do something, or some hydration formula. I like both. I do pre-workout and I do in the morning, but I will also do peptides as well. I inject into the muscle I'm training pre-workout, and I always notice a better pump, better blood flow, better connection, all that sort of stuff. And then in the morning, from a fat lipolysis standpoint, and just generally having more L-carnitine, like intracellular, intramuscular, intra-bodily, I just think it makes a good amount of sense. Okay, so yeah, how's your diet looking like at the minute, mate? All over the place, some high days, some low days. It's hard to explain. Watching the YouTube videos, but yeah, baseline food's all like pretty low. High days are pretty frequent. Like, just prep is prepping, bro. What was the estimated cost of opening a gym from nothing to opening day? I actually don't know, because we didn't really do it from a cost standpoint. We did it from a vibe standpoint. Right now, we've literally in the last week, we got a new Cybex Mark 1 leg press, which is so good. That was like $4,500. We got a Nautilus chest press, which was $2,000. Shout out Harvey from Liverpool. He's actually starting me coaching wise literally tomorrow, which is pretty fucking sick. So I bought the chest press from him, and then he also bought coaching from me. So exchange for goods, even though, to be fair, I paid and he's paying. So it was more so just a case we got on quite well in person, which is quite cool. So yeah, that's we've added some new machinery. We've got a Megamass T-bar on the way. But like all the kit, like if I was to go through the machines, Cybex Smith was like $4 or $5,000, but you could get that cheaper, but you could also get it for more. Cybex Squat Press was $5K. All the Gym Leco, the 5-piece of Gym Leco worked out like $3 to $3,500 each. Treadmills obviously about $1,000 each. All the Nautilus pieces, we had 14 pieces of Nautilus for $26,000, so they work out just under 2 each, but the pull down probably a little bit more. The let's say, for example, like if you were to sell it individually, the shoulder press probably a little bit more. Then you have like the leg extension, probably like not that, probably worth maybe $1,000. So yeah, it depends on really what you're looking for. Like and then as well, like the posing room, getting all the office set up, getting the lighting set up, getting the graffiti, getting the mirrors, all that sort of stuff adds up. So yeah, it's like if you're gonna do it on the cheap and you only get your machines from fucking Temu and China and stuff, and they're fake, sound. But we wanted legit old school pieces that took time, and literally we were getting kit for about a year and a half. Like there's still pieces that I want. Like a Strive low incline chest press is worth like $6,000. Is it worth $6,000 to the average person? No, it's a pin-loaded chest press. But to me, if one pops up, I'm going to get that shit. So yeah, I don't know how much it costs. A lot of money if you want to do it properly. Right. Have I ever had a hair transplant? No. Made it, guys. No hair transplant here. Just RU5841, topical minoxidil, GHKCU, and fucking genetics and vibes. That's that. Right, let's see, next one. Calf growth protocol. I don't train calves. Haven't trained calves all year. I think I literally just I've trained my calves from being heavy for years now, and as a result my calves are pretty okay. Personally, when I did try and grow my calves, I trained them literally every single session, and I rotated between high rep sets and low rep sets, but I also maximized range of motion. Our calves, we constantly do micro reps on, literally every single day. So we just do micro reps, doing extreme stretches, sitting into the stretch, extreme contractions, holding the contraction, I do believe is a bit of a game changer when it comes to calf training, in my opinion. Highest dose of SLU ran for and how long? I ran 200 milligrams oral and 1200. Yeah, 1200. No, was it more? No, it was about 1200 to 2000 mcg injectable at the same time for 5 days, and literally could feel my insides melting. So yeah, but I got shredded. Like literally, I've never seen composition changes like that, and then dropped the dose down to 100 milligrams. So yeah, why prefer carbs before fats when planning a diet plan? because we're bodybuilders and carbs are the main source of fuel for energy, bro. Why the fuck not? Some questions are retarded, aren't they? Like, that's such a fucking dumb question. Like, why do you even follow me, bro? Like, sorry, that's probably the trend. Yeah, it probably is the trend. But also, it's a fucking dumb question. Right. Posing routine, song, thoughts for career show. Got any ideas? No, I actually don't. I'm not too sure. I don't really know, if I'm honest. I literally haven't even planned really anything other than just getting there and stuff like that. I think maybe this weekend of like what I could pose to. Yeah, Ghost of Yoti introduction, guys. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I turn up to Don Tolliver, they'll be a bit like, who the fuck's this guy? So yeah, I'll probably do something maybe without much English. Turn up to 50 Cent, fucking Get Rich Die Trying album. Hell yeah. Let's go. Right. Are you getting Toshiba UK? Getting sent from the States. Can't find it in the UK from my source. Luckily, I have a guy that I know who is diabetic. I'm going to be messaging him soon to say, can I get some more? I haven't actually used any so far, but I'll be using it in the rebound, and I will be using it in the off season. So if there's any more going, I'll ask him. YouTube video explaining your dry out process one day out. Sure thing. I could easily do that. That could be an option. That would be a good sit down video. How aggressive a mini cut would you do when gaining mass is the ultimate goal? As fast as possible, bro. We're trying to gain mass. We're trying to get out the diet. So we're trying to get in and get out. That's literally what it should be about. Like, as long as it doesn't really, you're not going to drop training performance off if you're super aggressive. I've done a diet before where I did pro fat rest days from the day one, literally no carbs on rest days, and I only had carbs pre and post workout, and then pre bed on my training days. That was it. And I pulled off like 14, 15, 16 kilos in like 3 weeks. And a lot of that was fullness, and I did look pretty shit by the end, but it set me up nicely for a growth phase after. Well, it set me up nicely to injure my knee, to then run a growth phase, but not be able to train my legs, because my leg training wasn't able because I had no knee. So yeah. What do your rep ranges for heavy leg press loads look like? Well, I imagine if it's heavy, it'd probably be low rep ranges, bro. Don't really do low rep ranges. I think lowest rep range of what we do on a leg press is by like an 8 to 10. But I think anything below that is a bit fucking stupid. Hi, I hear you started prep on Boldenone. Did you keep it through the show? Yes, I've kept EQ in. It controls estrogen very well for me. I have got the dose at 600 milligrams, and I have kept it 600 milligrams. I've took it out the last week because of the metabolites, and by the time that I'm done with prep, I imagine I'll be into my post-show rebound, and the metabolites will be lingering. So I've took it out because by the time that I'll be a pro, would like to say, it'll be into my rebound, and then I'll just run test tren and a DHT. Probably gonna put in some primo, I reckon, which would be cool. High dose berberine affect growth? Possibly, maybe not, maybe so. I think, to be fair, like with the stuff we have available to us now, berberine is a little bit of a oversight. Not an oversight. I think there's better compounds out there. I think berberine at a low dose makes a good amount of sense. I've not ever really ran like high dose berberine, so I don't really think we need to personally. Could it affect growth? I don't really think so, based off just the mechanism of action. But in theory, if you take anything too much, could it cause some downstream effects negatively? Maybe so. That's something to think about. Right, next one. Stubborn high calf insertion with tiny ankles. Is it possible to look good on stage? Yeah, everything else, but probably not them, bro. Sorry. I replied to this on Instagram. I got a guy message me saying, would you say this to a client? And I'm like, yeah, probably. Like, you've got shit insertions, guys. Yeah, you can grow the fucking muscle, but if your calves are this big, they're probably going to stay that big. Yeah, they can come out a little bit and they could look quite cool, but I'm sorry, like, there's certain things we're not blessed with, you know? Like, it's like, I don't know, a guy who's bald at 14, 15, like Wayne Rooney coming to me saying, yo, bro, do you reckon I could have good hair without a hair transplant? I'm like, bro, you're fucking balding at 18, fam. Probably not. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Right. Current split, honestly, whatever the fuck I can manage without dying. Right now it's like an upper lower, but it changes based off peaks for shows and stuff like that. GH before workout with Slin, do you think is beneficial? Absolutely not. We're eating carbs. Why would we want to upregulate blood glucose levels? Even with insulin, I think it just makes no real sense, in my opinion, when it comes to kind of how things are going to be situated. And then last for you guys, just because we're hitting about 40 minutes, let's have a look. I've still got a fair few. What are you looking forward to in Korea? Winning a pro card and eating some Labrador. What is the difference in judging criteria between Two Bros and PCA? Honestly, I answered this on my story. I don't really think there's a huge difference. I see a lot of guys will go like, oh, you know, my goals aren't in within this federation, and it's like the judging criteria is fairly similar. Only things I'd say is PCA are very driven towards, in my opinion, shape and sort of the X frame / how good you're gonna look on a poster. Like, I do think they go very heavily off that. Like, if you can be super like, let's say for example someone like Matt Tofton, he won a pro card last year. I think he did a PCA show either that year or the year before, and he got like 4th in a shit class. Like, someone who's a big bold meathead who's not got the best midsection, PCA probably not going to get rewarded. There was the PCA Saxon show where Rich, the owner of Pro Strength, is it Pro Strength and Fitness? Elite Strength and Fitness, Pro Strength and Fitness, great gym in Swindon. He didn't win the overall to a junior who was a lot less muscled, condition wise similar, but like when they posted the reel of them next to each other, it's like Rich is a lot better of a bodybuilder. Like, the guy that won the overall is fantastic, really good for a junior, fucking absurd, but they gave it to him because he's a junior, like not based off him being a bodybuilder. If that was a two bro show, it wouldn't even be comparable. So like, they do think, in my opinion, a little bit more situated on those sort of thought processes. And at two bros, I have seen some guys turn up out of shape and they win just because they're fucking 20-30 pounds heavier than somebody, which I don't always think should be rewarded. I think there's nothing worse than seeing a big open bodybuilder and you look at it and you're like, wow, you look great. Why do you have 30 pounds? Or no, why do you have, not 30, why do you have 10 pounds still to pull off? You know, like, there's nothing worse. So yeah, so that's that. Where do I see my ceiling in bodybuilding? Could we see you at the Olympia? Honestly, I answered this as well. My ceiling is entirely dependent on how far I want to take this. And I mean that in not a cocky sense, it's just the truth. I've added 70 pounds of stage weight in 5 years. I've been assisted for almost 5 years. So yeah, 5 years, 70 pounds stage weight. My shape has improved. I don't see many guys with my sort of shape at any level in the amateur to early pro ranks. And I also don't see many guys with my level of progress. In open bodybuilding, I'm still very young in the game. I haven't pushed PDs super hard. I pushed like GH, stuff like that, pretty hard, but I haven't pushed the PDs super hard. Like, I could easily go up multiple levels in regards to PD exposure. And essentially as well, like, I look at it and think, like, my health is still great. My response to PDs is fantastic. I'm growing at a very good rate. As a result, my ceiling is entirely dependent on how healthy I stay and how long I want to do this shit for, which right now is for the foreseeable. Like, I'm just saying that out of choice, or not out of choice, out of honesty of things can change. I run a very successful coaching business. I love doing what I do. I'm very situated on like family with my mum and my relationship with Sanaya and stuff like that. And if she was to be pregnant or wanting to have a family, which we're speaking about, like in the coming years, things could change. But right now, like, can I see myself doing incredibly well within bodybuilding? Yes. Like, if I had horrendous shape, or if I couldn't grow, or if I had lagging body parts, okay, fair enough. But I could definitely be, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, UK bodybuilder in the coming years. That being said, I don't put too much pressure on myself. And if I was to try and go down that side of things, of just being all in, and I'm getting paid loads of money to just be a bodybuilder, could that change my enjoyment and change my pressure? Like, I don't get stressed on show days. I don't need to. I enjoy everything I do. If I'm going in and I'm thinking, fucking hell, my contract says I need to win this show, I need to do that, or I'm going to get paid this, and I'm not then able to go in all in with my coaching, or all in with the gym, or all in with, like, let's say my other, like, I've got a few other things on the side when it comes to businesses and stuff like that I'm getting into / I'm already into. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the sort of bodybuilder who, let's say, for example, wakes up, just posts their use my code for this, so they get referrals, and that's all they get, and they get paid a certain salary, and they have to just sit around all day and just sleep and eat. I wouldn't want that life. So, like, it's one of those sort of things where, again, it depends entirely on enjoyment. My ceiling is, in my opinion, pretty fucking high. But that being said, if you were to tell me in 5 years I am not at the Olympia, I'm not going to cry. Likewise, you tell me in 5 years I'm at the Olympia and I finish 7th or 8th, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see. Do I think I could win the Olympia? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you kind of know when I think you think you know. I don't think I'm going to be a Samson Dowder, personally. I don't think I'm going to be that. But I think, could I be the best of the up-and-coming crop of UK bodybuilders, and could I be pushing high placings? In my opinion, yeah. Like, you look at someone like Jordan Hutchinson, if he's finishing top 10. If you look at, let's say, someone like Urs, who's winning pro shows, I don't see why I can't be winning pro shows in a few years. So we'll see. Probably going to piss some people off there, going, oh my god, what the fuck, you're not even a pro yet. I'm not. Sorry, but I also am quite real. I know where I'm at. I'm all right, but I'm not where I need to be. And I only continue to get better, and I enjoy the fucking process. So why wouldn't I get better? What's the one thing you really hate about bodybuilding and why? I don't know, man. Dickheads on social media just fucking post random shite constantly. People that say they enjoyed themselves and they gained 10-15 pounds. People lying about what shows they're doing when no one gives a fuck. People announcing they're retiring from bodybuilding, yet it's not bodybuilding that's affecting their life, it's other things that are affecting their life. People that blame bodybuilding on fucking everything when in reality you're literally just going to the gym and fucking eating food. That sort of shit. That's the stuff I don't really like. People that just been negative for no reason, which is just funny because I've just been negative for a reason because I got asked about it. Right, last question. Let's see. Got a question here. Future Olympian. Yeah, man. It's cocky though if I say it. Fuck that. Fuck that Reese guy. He's way too cocky. That's it. Yeah, all the other questions are a bit shit. That's that, guys. Cool. Right, that is that. How long we gone for? 45 minutes. 45 minutes of me just chatting shit. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace, love, and prosperity to all. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. I don't know what prosperity for all means. It just sounds cool. Sound.